Hi, Mary here at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. This is the second portion of our series for building your own raised bed. In our last video, we shared with you how to pick out the lumber for your raised bed. So here we have our 4 cut boards. We have our 4 corners for our boards. We have our 3-inch deck screws. This is a 1-pound box and it was enough to do 2 raised beds. We have a pencil to mark off our wood, we have our drill, and we also have our chicken wire or gopher wire to go under the beds, as well as our staple gun. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we'll share with you the process as we go. For step 1, we are marking all of our edges of the board. We had our 4x4 cut in 12-inch long pieces, and we measure that on each side. This will help us when we start pre-drilling our holes, give us an idea of where those holes need to be drilled. So our next step, we are pre-drilling our holes. 2 of the boards are drilled, right in the center of where we marked off with our pencil. So that's on either side. We're going to pre-drill holes in the center of 2 boards, the center of where we marked off with our pencil in our first step. Pre-drilling the holes will make it a lot easier when we start putting the pieces together. Now our second 2 boards, we're going to drill the holes directly on the line. We're going to have 4 screws in each side. So we're going to have 4 pre-drilled holes along the line of where we just measured. So 2 boards get pre-drilled in the center of that section, and 2 boards get pre-drilled on the line. Two boards and 2 boards, and we do this on both sides.
So you have to put screws in.
Before we start screwing in our posts for our corners, I want to point out that the boards that we buy, even though it says 12, are never a complete 12 inches. They're usually about 11 to 11 and a half. So your 12-inch post in your corner is always going to be a little longer. So this is going to be the top portion of the bed, and the other side needs to be flush. This is going to be the bottom portion of the bed, and the reason we specify that is this wire is going to be attached to this side here. So we want to make sure that's flush when we attach our wire. So this is going to be the top. Again, the other side, that's going to be the top. So we've put these posts up here before we drill in our holes, and we make sure the bottoms are flush.
Okay.
All right, now we're securing the post. We've got our screws put in each of our pre-drilled holes. We go ahead and make sure first that your posts are even, that each edge lines up. The Deckmate screws we purchased came with a bit.
Change batteries.
Alright, so we had a quick battery change here. Another important part of building your raised beds is making sure you have either a backup battery or a fully charged battery on your drill. So we have all of our screws put in. You can see our post. It's all nice and lined up here. We want to make sure that everything is lined up before you start drilling.
We're putting screws in there.
Screwing, drilling. We drilled first and then we screw them in after. You can tell I'm not the technical one. Doc's really good at this stuff. For our other boards, you can see where we measured right here on the line. We are sinking the screws. We are screwing them in just enough so that they're sturdy and they're not going to go anywhere. That way when we attach them to these boards, they're sturdy and ready to go. So we have them all done on both sides of our 2 additional boards.
That's it, yeah.
Alright, so before you start screwing in, you want to make sure your boards are nice and even, squared up. Really easy to just put together once you get everything started. And just another reminder, that extra piece that sticks up above the top is going to go on the top of the bed, and this side's going to be the bottom. That way it's even when we attach our chicken wire. Step inside the box here, show you the finished product. One side's attached. Squaring it up, make sure it's nice and even. Alright, we've got our posts, we've got our boards drilled in, and now we have our chicken wire. This is 4 foot wide chicken wire, as I mentioned previously, because we have a 4 foot bed and it fits perfectly. Now we attach our gopher wire. This is where the staple gun comes in handy, and we make sure that we affix one side first, and then we roll it out. As I drop it. You want to make sure your sides are even, so you get enough on each side so you don't have any spots that come off from the wood, because you don't want those gophers to get in, you don't want the voles to get in, all the other critters. The last step of building our bed after we've already affixed the chicken wire or gopher wire is to cut from the roll. Wire cutters, sharp wire cutters are super helpful. Alright, so we're all finished. It was just a few steps to get our raised bed completed. Thank you for joining me. I'm Mary at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. If you have any questions, please feel free to send us an email to mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. I have included a link below in the description of our tutorial on our website on how to make your own raised bed, as well as the first video in this series on picking out your lumber. Thanks for joining us, and happy planting.